I want to tell you something about mobility and CSS from the perspective of a city, especially the city of Vienna, where I'm from. I'm the coordinator for traffic management systems in the city of Vienna, and therefore I'm responsible for the CSS deployment and traffic management systems within the city. City of Vienna is the capital of Austria, 2 million inhabitants, not a big city worldwide context, but a big city in European context. 2.9 million inhabitants in the metropolitan area, so 1 million more living around the city, and 620,000 persons enter and leave Vienna a day. Unfortunately, 77% go by car and only 23% go by public transport. So you can imagine this face some issues for the city of Vienna. Also, the inhabitants of the city have a very low motorization rate. They only have 284 cars per 1,000 inhabitants, while the average in Austria is 484 cars per 1,000 inhabitants. So the motorization rate is very low in Vienna itself. Therefore, in Vienna we have various strategies and plans, master plans. We have a smart climate city strategy, development plan, mobility master plan, a position paper for ultimate mobility, which I talked yesterday about. And these various strategies and plans lead to a very good model split finally. We started in 1993 with our investigations. It's the inner circle. You can see 28% pedestrians, 29% public transport, 40% by car, and only 3% by bicycle. But this changed over the years and decades, and in last year we ended up in 30% pedestrians, 34% public transport, only 25% by car, and we reached 11% in bicycle share on mobility in Vienna. How do we get to these numbers? How was our path there? The cycle share increase. One reason therefore was the Cycle Path initiative. It started in 2021 with our new city councillor. In the last 5 years we had up to 250 projects in the citywide, and we built 96 kilometers new bicycle infrastructure over the whole city. The plan on the right, these colorful lines there are all this new infrastructure which is built, so you can see it's spread over the whole city and not only concentrated to the center. So we covered all this area of the city, and the main focus was on large cycle highways, which one of it is from the city center up to the northwest of the city over the river the Danube. This is a picture of the inner part of this cycle highway, we call it. It's Praterstraße, therefore we reduced the lanes for cars and widened the space for cyclists, for smooth cycling in the shadow of these old trees. There is very convenient to go there. But not only new infrastructure helps us to get to this model share, we also have to set restrictions. We set parking restrictions. In 2022 we extended our short-term parking zone, which was former only in inner districts, to the whole city. It's the whole city without the green areas in the Bau and the right down and Tiergarten left side. But more or less the whole city is covered by this short-term parking zone. And from Monday to Friday, from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., it's only allowed to park for 2 hours for guests. Only the residents of their own district can park the whole day. This costs 120 euros a year for guests, and residents in other districts it costs €1.30 per half an hour. With this measure we reached it that we need 30% less public parking space on the streets, and we invested it in cycle paths, more or less. So we skipped the parking lane and built there a bicycle lane instead of. And the backbone of our mobility system and transportation system in the city is our public transport in Vienna. We have 29 on road surface. We have 29 tram lines, 500 tram vehicles, 95 bus lanes, more than 400 buses, and under the surface we have also 6 underground lines. We have 1,300 traffic lights in Vienna, and a traffic light is more or less a stop point for a vehicle, but we try to don't stop a public transport vehicle there. So public transport passes by 1,050 traffic lights, and we have an active privatization at around 640 of the traffic lights. So public transport vehicle says, I am here, the traffic light goes to green and they can go on the journey. And this was the starting point, one of the starting points for our CITS deployment. Within the European C-Roads framework, we started a few years ago, and because the one use case we focus on is to update and improve the current prioritization of public transport at signalized intersections. We see that our current technology just gives us information, a public transport vehicle is here or is not here. CITS gives us the opportunity to get more information out of the vehicles. For example, is the vehicle too late? Is it too early in respect to its timetable? We can also get information on the how many people are inside the vehicle, and so we can prioritize a bit more the vehicles that need prioritization. And the side effect, positive side effect, we can increase road safety and optimize traffic flow in the city with the CITS technology. Therefore, up to now, we deployed 180 roadside units over the city. These blue and red dots in this picture there. We started with 40 roadside units with funding of the European Union via the C-Roads platform. These are the blue ones, concentrated more to the city center. And then we've seen this technology will help us in the future for various reasons. And we invested our own money and built 140 roadside units more up to now. We will build more in the next month and years, as roadside units are now in the basic setting of traffic lights. So when we build a new traffic light, when we modernization of a traffic light, we include a roadside unit. We have 4 different traffic light suppliers in Vienna, the well-known Unix and Svarco, and we have 2 smaller ones, Austrian-based, BASIC and GPV. All of them have their own or own roadside units or buy them via our suppliers. And the public transport provider in Wien, the Wiener Linien, started to equip trams with onboard units. Up now they have 6 of them, 2 from the Czech company Hermann Electronics, 2 from Kapsch and 2 from Unix. And we have first pilots with the use case of public transportation. Therefore we use this SSM reservoir protocol, this new protocol defined by C-Roads for the public transport prioritization. We have it already out on 5 intersections over a specific tram line. We took the tram line 2 in Vienna, it's our test tram track, so to say. And there we do cross-manufacturer testing. So the onboard unit is from one manufacturer, the traffic lights are from various other manufacturers, and it works very well. Beside the public transport use case, we also had car use cases out in Vienna. Up to now we have 13 use cases in total implemented. Here are 4 of them: the roadwork warning, lane closure and road closure. You can see this sign on the right bottom corner of this picture. We also have traffic jam ahead, we have weather condition warnings, we have an embedded VMS for free text. We use it with Austria Tech for various European projects to pilot some things there. Yeah, another use case we implemented was emergency vehicle use cases. The rescue service in Vienna bought a new ambulance car. It's a, so to say, hospital on wheels. It's a very huge car, and they equipped it with an onboard unit. and they implemented the use cases emergency vehicle. So when the vehicle is on the road, it sends us a signal for the other cars to pay attention. Here is a blue light vehicle coming, and if it stops and deals with the patient, it sends out the message emergency vehicle intervention. And to come back to the vulnerable road users, we also implemented the use case vulnerable road user protection. Therefore, we are in contact with V2X, and we implemented 4 aware AI detectors on a junction on the historic ring road at a very touristic area where our beautiful museums and so on are, and the Hofburg. And there we have 4 detectors, 2 for pedestrians and bicycles on the crossing, 1 detector for approaching bicycles, here number 3, and 1 detector for approaching trams. So we have more than VRU protection, we also include the tram. We use it in the following way. The Ringstraße, the street from left to right, is a one-way street, and there are many cars going right down on the plan, and they have to go right down and cross a tram track, a pedestrian crossing, and a cycling crossing. And if there is an obstacle, a pedestrian, a tram, or a bicycle on this crossing, we send out a message to the car that is on the right lane to see, oh, if you go right, pay attention to these other road users there. Yeah, it works via object recognition. It can detect if this is a pedestrian, a bicycle, a scooter, or whatever. We also able to detect and record the trajectories. And as side effect of this vulnerability protection, this device is also able to do traffic counting. So we also get data for our future transport and mobility planning issues in Vienna out of this device. So one device for a wide set of options to include in the daily work of the city of Vienna. Yes, more or less we came to the outlook. Yeah, we will have an ongoing process with our CNTS development. We will deploy more and more. We focus on public transportization and reliable service, as we see that the CNTS service is not always as stable as is needed. We will evaluate the VRU protection use case because we implemented it a few weeks ago, so it takes a few months to see is this working very well. And we also have one topic open, this trust level certification, to get in contact also with other CRTS users as Proton Group or similar. So, thank you and possibly see you in Vienna.
I'm from the county, and I have a question. You said 70% of the people commute in a vehicle, and you said unfortunately. What would be the ideal number that you would like to see between 200,000 vehicles per day, kind of? And then how would you like to equip those bicycles if they are not driving, to just be sure that they're all detected and we can communicate?
Okay, first question. Ideally, we have 0 private cars commuting to Vienna. We see that our public transport system is not that good that it can take all these persons up to now, but we are modifying our public transport system and hope that we can get the half of them to public transport and the rest will stay on car. That's fine for us. Second question, the cyclists, they are detected via a camera in our system, so they don't have to have any equipment with them, because we see that it will take time to equip every bicycle with this. So for the next phase, it's for us the solution we can go on and to also integrate this VRU protection.